I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you. And all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to Lyrical Wisdom.
Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
How are you this one fine day?
I am living another day in paradise. Thank you for asking.
Yay, yes. Thank you for sharing.
It's my
Because,
pleasure.
we both love your paradise, and I hope each and every one of you are beginning to live in your paradise, wherever it may be.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, each and every one of you for being here now with us, because we so enjoy doing this for you. It's actually, we do this for you. It's
Yes.
it's a lot of fun. Bruce and I have a blast, and our heart is in it, because
Yes.
we love you guys and we love doing this for you. Remember, the best part is when we get requests. That's what I
Yes.
love.
I do too. That is no joke. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah. Please don't be afraid of making a comment or, well, you know what to do. You guys out there, you're all the experts on social media, I am sure. So please make your comments, send in your suggestions, do your thing. And we love it.
Yes, those likes and subscribes on YouTube really, really, really do help. And send us a
Hmm.
request. You can do it on email, remember, or just leave a comment. And the best thing about our journey in the wisdom is that we have a beautiful gift to share with each and every one of you. We now have a playlist available to you that you can listen to at any time. It's available free on Spotify.
Yes. Lyrical wisdom songs. Is that correct?
Correct. Lyrical
Lyr-
wisdom songs.
I love it. And I'm
Yeah.
so proud of the fact that we have that. I love that. And I'm so happy. Thank you, Allison, our wonderful team member here, somebody that is so incredibly helpful. I don't know how to tell you how incredibly Allison,
Yeah.
how incredibly Allison is. And so we love her. We love this. And yeah, we are so lucky. And yes, please go listen to the songs that we talk about, because now that's what you can do. You can go to Lyrical Wisdom Songs. There's a whole playlist. It's going to be expanding. Obviously, we're not going to just leave you with a little list and then goodbye. We're constantly expanding it. And so you can come and listen to us talk our brains out, and then, go listen to that awesome song and join us in this beautiful feeling of this and here right now. And we love it,
Yeah.
and we love you.
Yeah, yeah. And who knows, maybe some of those songs will bring you to paradise.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. What's funny is that I always grew up listening to I borrow that phrase from my dad, but my dad didn't say it to me. He actually said it to my nephew, and it
Mm,
was his thing that he would say to my nephew. To me, I would say, "Good morning. How you doing, Dad?" And he'd say something like, "Fair to middling." And I know that phrase, and I know a lot of people out there know that phrase, but I just had to admit that my nephew started saying it on his podcast that I can tell everybody about if you really want. But I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
that's what I was thinking. Doesn't he have a podcast? Go ahead,
he
Bruce. Tell
does. Well,
everybody.
he's he does a podcast. Thank you. He does a podcast called City Boys, and they record it to talk about soccer because he and his three friends are big soccer fans, and the St. Louis City soccer team is their favorite, and they love to talk about it. They love he announces games where he lives for the local university where he went to college, and so he just loves to do that. But on his podcast, that's what he'll say. He'll say that he's living another day in paradise, and I was so incredibly inspired by that that I just decided I'm going to join him. And it just
Yeah,
makes me feel so connected to my dad. It makes me feel like I have a little secret, little inside thing going with my nephew, but also I get to share that with you guys. And so now, long story short, now my wonderful and lovely listeners out there, now you know why I say that every day, because it brings me so much joy and it brings me
yeah.
such an amazing feeling of being right here, right now with you, which is what I enjoy with Donna. Holy cow. Yeah. Boy,
Wait,
howdy, do I love this.
yay, me too. And Bruce, we all know that we actually are the ones that are creating our reality, the
Yes.
reality that we are immediately immersed in. As a collective, out there's a lot of reality being created. But as far
Yes.
as what you on a personal level are living within your four walls or your cubicle or your car or whatever, it is, it's yours. And the more you
It is.
speak into it as being paradise, the more it will become paradise. And I
Oh my gosh,
know
yeah.
that without a doubt.
Me too. I know
Yeah.
that without a doubt as well. And I think that sometimes, we just get into these zones where we kind of feel like we're saying in our own heads, we're not necessarily saying I'm having another day in paradise. We're kind of looking at this experience going, ooh la la, this is quite an experience.
Yes,
And
yes.
and I feel like it just kind of like it's sometimes it can be overwhelming. And I love that phrase because I believe I've heard some of that phrase come from different countries. And I've had a few friends that I used to work with that were from France. I remember they used to say "ooh la la," so I kind of love that.
Yes,
Kind
it
of love that.
does. It does have a French connection to it, I think. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sitting here
so
looking at this beautiful, I mean, the most red cardinal I've ever seen. And same thing. Ooh la la, that is beauty in its, it really does bring about a sense of joy.
joy, pure beauty, and just being able to kind of have an expression that allows you to say, "I am not at all afraid of admitting how surprised I am by how beautiful and amazing this moment right now is."
Hmm.
That's what I love about those things. I love it, love it, love it. And yeah,
Great
what a
segue,
great,
Bruce, into our song today. We do that all the time, guys. I don't know if you've figured it out yet, but we do introduce the song pretty early in our conversation. Or
yeah.
at least we give you hints so you can help figure it out. But this one's really cool because it also has a lot of beautiful information that I never knew about. You know what I'm saying? First
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, first and foremost, welcome all of you to Lyrical Wisdom. We have a beautiful song today. It's called Ooh La La by The Faces and Rod Stewart. Some of you may recognize the song from Rod Stewart's album. However, this song came originally from a band, a British band in 1973, Ooh La La. And it was written by, and all I really have to say is Ronnie, the Ronnies, because it was written by Ronnie Lane and Ronnie Wood. And when I saw that, I went, oh my God, I wonder if I'm related. That was fascinating.
That
Um,
is.
and we also discovered that when this song was on their album, guess what, y'all? Rod Stewart was in the band Faces. But right when he joined the band Faces, he was also presented with his contract to be a singer, a single artist, you know. And so I don't think he was in the band very long, but he was in the band, and they actually recorded um, Rod Stewart being the lead singer on this song on the Faces album. And they also recorded the Ronnie, is it, I can't remember if it's Ronnie Lane. Yes, Ronnie Lane as the lead vocal on the album. And, but of course, they chose Ronnie Lane. Um, Actually, Wood gave it a try too. Ronnie Wood. So he might be fascinating. But yes, we have a song that has like a beautiful duality to it in that it came from two Ronnies recorded by two artists that were originally together in a band called Faces. Here we go.
That's
Ooh la
amazing. Thank
la.
you for, yeah, thank you.
Poor old granddad. I laughed at all his words. I thought he was a bitter man. He spoke of women's ways. They'll trap you, then they use you, and before you even know, for love is blind, and you're far too kind. Don't ever let it show. I wish that I knew when I was younger. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was stronger. The Can, such a pretty show. It's steal your heart away, but backstage, back on earth again, the dressing rooms are gray. They come on strong, and it ain't too long, for they make you feel a man. But love is blind, and soon we'll find you're just a boy again. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was stronger. When you want her lips, you get her cheek. Makes you wonder where you are. If you want some more, then she's fast asleep, leaves you twinkling with the stars. Poor young grandson, there's nothing I can say. You'll have to learn, just like me, and that's the hardest way. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was stronger. And of course, there is a lot of ooh la la's in there, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's hard to fill in what they do so randomly, wonderfully. It's amazing. And thank you. That's an amazing song. And I don't recognize it just by the lyrics, hearing it that way. I'm glad
yeah.
that we include this in our lyrical wisdom songs playlist so that everybody can kind of hear how this is put together with music and how they sing it. Because
Hmm.
I would assume that it is even better. But boy, that was really, really cool. Um, I love the way that this comes across to me like a story about, well, I kind of think it like how we treat this moment here. It's like a moment in time right here, right now.
Right, where a grandfather is talking with his grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He and his grandson laughed at all his words. You know,
Yeah. Thinking he
I
was
can't
a silly old man.
yeah, and that bubbly giggle of that grandson just must have made that grandfather just burst, with love. And so I thought, and he says, I thought he was a bitter man. He spoke of woman's ways. You know, I think that the way that it's described is not to say that that was what he was, that he was a bitter man. I think that he's commenting on it in a very kind of, I don't want to say melancholic, but just looking back on it with a twinkle in his eye and a sense of humor and definitely a sense of love. That's how it really resonates with me like that.
Yeah. Bruce, it also shows the evolution of, time from
Yeah.
a young man to a grown old man. And I can call him an old man because he's a granddad, okay? So he obviously has lived life all the way to
Yeah.
where he's now a granddad. And
Yes.
there's a lot of wisdom there that granddad is trying to share with this young boy. And the young boy just laughs at him and calls him poor old granddad. And I was, you don't understand anything about life. And I remember, growing up and thinking, wow, my poor parents only had black and white TV. What? You know what I'm saying,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bruce?
Yeah. Yeah.
And people before that didn't even have TV. They only had radio. You know,
Yeah.
you think about them as being, not as I don't know, but you do. You call them poor people, oh, you feel sorry for them. That's the words I was looking for. And they're
Oh yeah.
really, it's like life is what it is in that moment. And they didn't
Mm-hmm.
know anything else other than the
Yes.
black and white TV, other
Yeah.
than the radio. And for them, that was like so amazing. For us, kind of like what's happening now with all this technology.
Yeah.
It's like our grandkids, when they come up, who knows. They won't even
Absolutely.
be using telephones. They'll just telepathy talk to each other, and
I
they'll, call us poor old people having to use a device to talk to people. It's
well, I
like,
I know that I didn't mean to interrupt you, Donna. I'm sorry. We do this,
uh,
you guys, and it's just kind of one of those things I know you understand. But it's I've heard my nephew actually describe me in a very fun and humor way that I'm a child of the 1900s. And it's
mm,
true. It's true. When
hmm
you think about it, it kind of makes you take a step back and go, wait a minute, what does that mean? Well, because my birthday happened in the 1900s, it didn't happen in
right.
the 2000s. And I'm not afraid to mention that. I'm not going to give you guys all the date and suddenly give away too much information here, but I'm just going to say that, I understand that looking back when you grew up with cell phones and um, computers that you could walk around in your back pocket and laptops and all of these wonderful new technological advancements. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm currently working with artificial intelligence or AI that is actually built into my command line. And I'm actually learning now how to create an artificial intelligent agent that
Mm,
you can use in the command line so that you don't have to program. You just enter a question.
yeah.
And then the artificial intelligence does a whole bunch of stuff for you in the background that you don't have to program in different programming languages. You can ask it, I need to find this or I need to look for that. And you can build something and so that technology is advancing as we speak. It looks to
Yes.
some of us like the chat GPT and Gemini and Copilot that some of these things are as far as that advancement can go. Well, just you wait. There's going to be more that it's going to be able to do. But I will also say that, as Deepak Chopra said, artificial intelligence doesn't have intention. It doesn't
hmm
have a lot of the things that we associate with being human. And I don't know when and if that'll ever happen, but I'd say that to rest the minds of our audience to say, please don't be afraid. It's not coming to take away our world. And that I know for a fact. Um,
It still
it's
has
gonna
to be programmed. It
it
has to be
still has
told by a
it
human
and it will.
what to do.
It's just as Donna was saying, I just can't tell you how much that resonates with me, with to me, you guys out there, because that's the truth. We are literally seeing things happening so quickly that it is such a different world that yeah, we think of it as something that is a burden for being from a different time. I graduated from high school and did not have a cell phone. Cell phones were not a
Hmm.
possibility for high school students to have at that
Me
time.
too. Yeah. Had
And I
beepers.
yeah, I we had completely different
Uh,
things.
yeah.
And email and internet, all of that came, at a different time. Being able to video people on a cell phone, video in the camera on a cell phone didn't actually occur until after the year 2000.
I
It's,
think the most prominent thing I heard you say out of that really struck me, Bruce, was the fact that you can carry your not even laptop, but your computer. Because my first computer was, I mean, it was a big box. The screen was a big box with the keyboard attached to it. You could not even lift it up. It was so heavy.
oh yeah,
But
well,
you can
and
carry your computer in your pocket now.
you can
That's
carry it
what
around.
struck me. Yes, you can
Yeah,
put it
and
in
you
your
can have
back
a
pocket.
I
So,
used to dream in elementary school. We had to do this assignment where we created something that then we created a store and marketplace and we tried to sell it. It was like being the innovator and being the what's the word, the entrepreneur. And so my whole idea was I was fascinated with trying to put things in a watch. I wanted to create a watch that could do all the things like a calculator back then was the most I saw watches do. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. They have calculators for watches. And now it's your iPhone is in your
yeah,
watch. You
yeah.
have, it's,
We're
I mean,
we made it to Star Trek.
yes. And that's why, when they say, I thought I laughed at all his words and I thought he was a bitter man because in a lot of ways, the perspective is such
Hmm.
a different thing. And that's where it says, he spoke of women's ways. And I think, all right, a lot of people would hear that lyric and they think, boy, we've come a long way these days. We've certainly woken up a little bit more and how we talk about each other is a lot, more respectful in a lot of ways, I think. And of course, that's the truth of it. But, it also can lead us back to, like these are the kinds of conversations that people used to have. And I love that because it gives you a sense of context, it gives you a sense of perspective. And he spoke of women's ways. They'll trap you, then they use you. And before you even know, for love is blind and you are far too kind. Don't ever let it show. And that's the funny thing is it's like this look back on this life that was a little bit different, being a little bit afraid, being a little bit maybe sensitive to how, we show each other what we really think and how we really feel. And I think that back in the day when you didn't have so much technology to communicate with, it was a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, but it's a little bit more like imminent, a little bit more important, if you will, to keep yourself less noticeable of how you're feeling and what you're thinking and keep it kind of to yourself.
Well, we started off on a little bit of a tangent, but the tangent was because it's all about this song. It's about
Yeah.
the gap and the understanding of where one generation is at and where the new generation is at. And this
Yes, yes,
song is
yes.
all about love, about a
Yes.
woman. How do you approach a woman? Back in
Yeah.
the day, Granddad, for him, his journey of love. Was bitter. He thought that all they do is trap you and they use you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and he did speak, and I believe this line follows every generation. Love is blind. and you're
Yes.
far too kind.
I
So it's like
agree. I
that's
agree.
so we all get in this trap of giving too much and not because of fear, I believe. We're afraid of
Yes.
losing that love, losing that partner. So we give and do anything they ask, just to keep
Yes.
them. And
Yes.
Granddad's trying to give the young grandson some really good advice here by saying, don't fall into that trap.
Yes.
I wish that I knew what I know now when I
Yeah.
was younger. I
Yes.
wish that I knew what I know now when I was stronger. In other
Yeah.
words, when you're young and that puppy love is what they call it. And now I'm realizing why they call it puppy love, because a puppy is almost helpless. It depends on its mother. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's what love, they say when love is blind and young puppy love, it's like they are so codependent upon each other.
Yes.
They
Such
don't understand that you can stand up and be yourself. The strength that he's talking about, I believe. I wish I knew what I know now when I was stronger.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, Donna, because I think that's really what the younger generations learn is that there is a balance between being completely honest and completely in the moment and also being able to be and enjoy the I am of your experience.
Yes.
And I'm really trying to pick those words carefully, not because I'm afraid of saying something wrong here. It's because that's what I believe. We
Hmm.
are all we are all I am, we are all these things. And so sometimes you lose yourself in that because you think, just like you said it so perfectly when you were like, people want to try to keep something. We don't want to let go of that loved one if they are going to pass on and transition. We don't want to, we don't want to lose things like that. We feel like something is suddenly being ripped from our chest, that love, and the reality is that's not true because we are still here. We are still ourselves and we still can have that love inside of us and it is still existing there. And then he goes on. I love how it says the can such a pretty show, it's steal your heart away. And I love that because then he starts kind of making that context, making the words start to really give us some foreshadowing and give us a little bit of an idea of, you know, this is kind of how we see some of these things. We see them like such a pretty show, it'll steal your heart away. And we kind of get so wrapped up in that moment, which is such a beautiful thing. But backstage, back on Earth again, the dressing rooms are gray. And I think it's like, okay, now that we kind of come back to, a little bit of the reality and the dressing rooms to me, being back on Earth again and the dressing rooms are gray, kind of a little bit of a hint at the fact that a lot of people don't see themselves and their own experience, where they are, who they are, what they are, all of these things as being anything more than something that's bland and gray and not that exciting. They're always looking out there for something that's a pretty show, the can to
Yeah.
steal their heart away.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where it kind of goes here. It's like you know, but backstage, back on
Hmm.
Earth again, the dressing rooms are gray. And that was kind of something that I just thought of. And so
Yeah, back on Earth again was the key right there in those lyrics. The Can Bruce, do they still have that show? I mean, back in the day, the Can was like the epitome of lights, camera, action. You're right. It was such a production to
yeah,
watch that
yeah,
you were so mesmerized. It stole your heart away. You were
yeah,
just so focused on that show. It was so tremendous. And then you go backstage and you're back on Earth again. The dressing
yeah,
rooms are gray. And then he kind of speaks into what I feel like the bitterness comes from in the quote trap of what we think love is. in its physicality and all. They come on strong, and it ain't too long for they make you feel a man. In other words, the girls, they flirt with you and they make you feel important as a man,
Hmm.
and you think, I'm going to be loved. And
But
then
love is
it's,
blind.
but love is
Yeah.
blind, and soon you'll find you're just a boy again.
Living in
Another,
that moment of, oh my gosh,
hmm
I can't believe those Christmas presents are there, or I get to play with my, like this is it just it's overwhelming how the joy and the things happen. But yeah, you feel like you've agree. It's like you suddenly feel a trap. And the funny thing is that the I think that a lot of times when somebody is receiving so much of a gift like that of all this love, and they can see somebody is basically giving themselves away, not necessarily focusing on themselves, and they're just not able to. So for some reason, they're just so incredibly immersed in that moment, and all they want to do is shower somebody else with all of this, all of that,
hmm
and I think that that's when a lot of times the other side of that equation can look at it and go, well, you know what? That empowers me, that enables me to be as honest as I need to be, because this person is giving me that gift of being able to, say, hey, yeah, I can make you feel really good, but I kind of need to let you know how I feel. And that might bring you back to earth again, or that
Right.
might just kind of show you what's happening here in a way that I'm hoping helps you find that moment of, I am Bruce, or I am whatever your name is out there, being able to find that moment of beauty in yourself instead of just feeling like it all
Yes.
exists for somebody
Yes.
else.
That I think that's what the whole thing is, understanding that in order to truly love someone, the love must come from you. In other words, you have
Yes.
to learn to love yourself and
Yes.
all of your shadows, your quirkiness, your everything you are, love unconditionally. And that's
Yes.
what I believe these lyrics are saying. I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. That it's all about true love, the ultimate love that created us, the pure love, not that, chasing, kind of physicality love. I wish I knew
Yeah.
what I know now when I was stronger. In other
Yeah. Because,
words, that confidence, what you're talking about, Bruce, the I
yeah.
amness that is within us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Because then he says, when you want her lips, you get her cheek. Makes you wonder where you are.
hmm
And it's like, if you want some more, then she's fast asleep, leaves you twinkling with the stars. And I love that because, yes, in those moments, it's magical, twinkling in the stars. And but at the same time, you kind of feel like, wow, shoot, this is what I feel like I want. I have this thing, and there it is. And it's this thing that's outside of us. And it can make another entity that's with us, another being, feel maybe some fatigue for that, and that is totally that's a beautiful thing. It's just sometimes somebody maybe just doesn't want to have a kiss on the lips, or maybe they're just not into whatever activity that might be, and that's
hmm
okay. It's just funny because you know it's just that kind of a thing where once we find that beauty inside, that confidence and that feeling of just such wonderful love and being, it gives us that fulfillment. And then, you know, as I feel like sometimes I could try to make an equation here and use an example from the Bible, because I think it's the Lord is my shepherd, for what shall I be afraid, or things like this. I know I'm not
hmm
quoting it correctly, but that's what I feel like it's, it kind of instills in us, is this idea that I already have this wonderful thing. For what am I going to be afraid of? What
Yeah.
should I ever want? And that's the beauty of the poor young grandson. There's
Right.
nothing I can say. You'll have to learn just like me. And that's the hardest way. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm reading a Dr. Seuss book again.
I
But yeah,
know.
it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're absolutely right, Bruce. I mean, there are times both ways, the woman and the man. You want their
Yeah.
lips, but you get their cheek. Makes you wonder where you are. And that's the key is
Yeah.
it's not about you.
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
We take things so we look at it as, oh, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
You're mad at
Yeah.
me. What did I do
Yeah.
wrong? And you begin to resent the other person. And that is the trap, I believe, that we're speaking about here.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
when you want more, she's fast asleep. It's like maybe her body, she just needed the rest. And
Yeah.
we take that and take it as we turn it around. And so,
Yeah.
when, like you said, poor young grandson, there's nothing I can say, you'll have to learn just like me. And that's the hardest way. He
Yes.
is bringing forth wisdom of, just understand that it's not you, when you can learn to love unconditionally and come from that source, that never ending love that created you, then that love is always going to be there. Even when the cheek is turned, even when, they fall asleep on you, it's not that they don't love you. You are the one making that up. I wish I
Yes.
knew what I knew now when I was younger. I wish that I know now when I was stronger. And
Yes.
I think
Oh,
that
beautiful.
strength is, like you said, coming from the knowing that comes from within. Like,
Yes.
like you mentioned
Yes.
earlier, that Lord's Prayer, knowing that there's something out there that is within you that you can call upon at any time for strength, for to let go of that fear. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie
Yes.
down, and yea,
Yes.
though I enter the valley of the shadow of I think it says death. Yea, though I
Yes.
walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art
Yes.
with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So this
Yeah.
is, yeah, it's absolutely right. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of that love
Yes.
forever.
Yes. Beautiful. And that's, I think, the essence of it. And, for anybody out there that maybe, looking at it through that lens is not maybe your flavor, I totally understand. And that's not necessarily what we want to do is, I just have to say that I think that is such a beautiful message. And I hear it through this song too. Thank you, Donna, for reading that because that's where I was thinking of it. I wasn't necessarily looking for it on my screen too, but thank you, Allison, for pulling that up because yes, that is
Yes.
exactly what I think of a beautiful example of that. However you feel, I think that is a truly beautiful thing, a beautiful part of it. So thank you for
Yeah.
reading that.
Yeah.
So
Ooh la la, what a day.
yes.
And I think
And
the ooh la la is that. It's that love. It's that, that moment of falling in love and that feeling that we are trying to get across to you all. It's a
oh
beautiful
yeah.
feeling and it comes from deep within. Ooh la la. It
Ooh la
feels so
la.
good when you
Yeah,
know that love is all around you all the time.
absolutely. And
You are loved
you
and
are
you are
loved.
love.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and thank you. Yeah, and I was just thinking too, if you think of this as there was a song that came out in the past that they actually added another la or two on there. It was "Ooh La La La." It was a lyric that was by the Fugees, and they wrote a song that they said "Ooh La La La" in it. And I got
Mm-hmm.
to tell you, if that song comes back to you, and that is how you hear it, then take it, run with it, enjoy it, and ooh la la, enjoy your
Yeah.
beautiful day out there.
Hey, Bruce, I have a great idea.
What is it?
Well, I was thinking, wouldn't it be really cool if we brought in our beautiful audience, if you guys could just leave a comment or send us a message, send us an email, just let us know what is it that you wish you knew when you were younger? Is there something that, you can think about in your life? What do you think, Bruce?
I think that's a wonderful idea. What do you guys think out there? Is there something in your life that you've learned over time? You had an experience that you learned something that you wish you knew then.
When you were younger. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it could be something in depth or it could be something simple like, I really wish I learned how to cook. I really wish I learned how to wash clothes without them running the colors together. It
Yeah,
can be
yeah,
something simple or it could be something really deep and spiritual. But yeah, I would
yeah.
love for you guys to share that with us.
That's a wonderful idea. Thank you for that, Donna.
Yeah. And thank you, each and every one of you, for coming in and sharing with us what you wish you knew when you were younger. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for being here now and sharing this wonderful, wonderful day with us. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us here today on
Lyrical
Wisdom.